Hi, Duncan. It's so nice to have you on the show. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good. It is a little bit hot here, but I'm
Okay.
not complaining. I'm not complaining because normally it's raining.
Okay. That's good to know, man. Okay, Duncan, I am so excited to have you on the show for a couple of reasons. Firstly, my interest in knowledge seeking, because I believe that there won't be transformation without knowledge. Knowledge seeking and knowledge application result to transformation. I firmly believe that. And secondly, for my audience, the ones who are going to be listening to our conversation, I believe there are some things that Duncan knows that some of my audience needs to hear you say these stuff, directly from your mouth in order to experience transformation. I firmly believe that. And thirdly, that is me, I myself. I know I'm definitely going to learn one or two things from your insight, your story, your experiences. Okay, for that reason, Duncan, I want us to get started with your introduction, your journey, how the journey's been so far, the challenges that you faced, and how you overcame them. Then afterwards, I've gotten some beautiful questions for you. Okay, Duncan, over to you.
Yeah, so my name's Duncan. I guess my transformation occurred around alcohol. It's probably two transformations, isn't it? When I was much younger, when I was a teenager, I was quite shy. I didn't really know how I fitted in. I didn't really know how to socialize. And then I discovered alcohol, and it seemed like that was the best transformation of my life. It seemed like it filled in so many gaps. It sorted out so many problems. It seemed to make everything fantastic. But as the years went on, the amount of people that I drank with went down. It became less and less social. And the amount I drank went up. And long story short, I ended up sitting on my own, drinking a couple of bottles of wine every day, which is not much fun. And that's when, I had my second transformation, the good transformation, where I stopped drinking. And, I still can't get over how many amazing benefits that has given me. Even after 9 years, I wake up every day glad, that I made that transformation. And that's why I love to help other people, change their lives, whether it's stopping drinking or smoking or changing their diet or transforming in other ways, removing other self-limiting beliefs.
Beautiful, beautiful. You mentioned a very important word. You said you love to help other people. Help, that word is so important. And I'm grateful to God to have you on the show because, like I said earlier, I feel like there are some certain things that we are definitely going to learn from you. Okay, Duncan, shall we get started with the questions? Okay,
Yeah,
so,
yeah, sure.
all
Let's
right,
let's let's go.
all right. Okay, so let us talk about alcohol for a bit. Why is alcohol a business problem? Can you talk to us about that?
Yeah, so I think a lot of businesses now, they've worked out that if they help their employees, if they look after their employees, if they start to think about things like well-being and resilience and mental health, then their employees will be more productive and they will work harder, and that affects the bottom line. I think more and more businesses are waking up to that fact. I wish they did it because it made their employees' lives better, but ultimately, that's not really what business is about. Business is about making money, and they figured out that happy, healthy employees are more productive. And that's great. The problem, I think, is that most businesses haven't figured out that actually one of the key determinants of your well-being and something that massively affects your mental health is alcohol. So they haven't figured out that if their employees are drinking, it's affecting their sleep, it's affecting their energy levels, it's affecting their ability to produce at work on, that basic level, but it's also affecting their mood, it's affecting their ability to empathize. So it's really affecting relationships as well. It cuts across many aspects of business. And if your business has the reputation of being one where people do a lot of drinking, then that's going to attract a certain type of person. And what we're noticing more and more is that the top performers in any industry, whether it's sports, the creative arts, or business, the top performers are actually turning away from alcohol. So if you want to attract them, then changing your company's attitude towards alcohol is an important first step.
Brilliant. I got that. I love how you answered that question. That's a brilliant one. Okay, let us talk about indulgence for a moment. How can one get over indulgence, rather? Can you talk to us about that?
So I think a lot of people get the wrong impression about me. They think, that I am some austere monk that doesn't believe in enjoying themselves, or I don't believe in indulgence at all. And don't get me wrong, I think there is absolutely a place for having a bit of a treat. I think, well, particularly the way the weather is at the moment, there is absolutely a place for ice cream in people's lives. I think, but we've just got so out of whack with indulgence. Our attitude towards it it's just gone a bit wrong. And I think birthday cake sort of, it emphasizes this. I mean, yeah, I'm sure you're a popular person. I'm sure you got lots of friends, but at the end of the bend, even the most popular people don't get invited to that many birthday parties every year. Once you've got a few family members and a few close friends, you're going to what? 15 birthday parties a year, maybe 12, maybe once a month, which means you should be eating birthday cake about once a month. And that, there's no harm in that. There's nothing wrong with eating birthday cake once a month. But now, of course, you can just go and buy birthday cake ice cream, and you can literally eat birthday cake every day of the year. And people do. They eat these incredibly indulgent cakes, which we used to only have at celebrations, and they're eating them almost on a daily basis. And I think we've just got to get back to realizing that actually you get a lot more pleasure from doing it infrequently. You don't get more pleasure from eating cake more often. You actually get more pleasure from it eating it less, because then it means something. Then it really is genuinely a treat. It genuinely is an indulgence. It's not just Tuesday. So that's one of the things I like to help people to understand, to rediscover the importance of celebration and indulgence, but just realizing that actually the less you do it, the more fun it is.
Got that. Okay, so what is the alcohol epidemic? Can you talk to us about that?
Yeah, so if you look through the history of society's relationship with various drugs, for example, crack cocaine, in the 80s, there was this big crack cocaine epidemic. And then in the 2000s, that's when America started talking about the opioid epidemic. And I find that very interesting, because if you look at opioids kill about 80,000 Americans every year. And I don't want to do down the amount of suffering that is caused by them. I mean, they're obviously terrible. They ruin people's lives. They steal, young people from their parents, from their siblings, from their partners. So, it is terrible. But if you look at the brute facts, that's 80,000 Americans die taking opioids every year. It's more than twice that. It's like 180,000 Americans that die every year as a direct result of drinking alcohol. And we're not talking about that as an epidemic. And I think maybe we should. Change the way we look at alcohol completely and stop seeing it as just a bit of harmless fun, and realize that it is something that, it kills people. It is worldwide, it is the number one killer and the number one cause of disease and disability for people between the ages of 15 and 49. So it is a pretty big problem. Yet we just think of it, it's just the odd beer here and there. But it's not. It mounts up. And the statistics vary depending on which section of the population you talk about. But if you happen to be a white man like me, if you about 1/3 of the white men that drink alcohol develop a problem with it, so if you are a white man and you start drinking, you've got like a 1 in 3 chance of becoming a problem drinker. Nobody told me that when I was a kid. Nobody handed me a beer and said, look, have this, and you've got about a 33% chance of it all making your life go wrong. And I think we need to really reassess the way we look at it and stop thinking of it as just something harmless that's fun to do on the weekends, and start to realize the very serious damage that it does to all of our societies across the world.
Oh, that's true. That's so correct. I tell you. And I love how you talked about it that way. That's a great one. Okay, so we still have some questions here, all right? Okay, so I want you to dive deep a bit, concerning how you went from drinking, smoking, and eating junk food to, energy, focus, peace, and happiness. Can you talk to us more on that?
Yeah, I mean, the I suppose the simple answer is I stopped doing it. But is it that simple? Well, look, it can be. I think a lot of people think that stopping smoking, stopping drinking, getting the junk food out of your life, they think it is impossible. Not just difficult, but actually impossible, which is why they don't try. But there are various different ways of going about it. And I think most people kind of try to go about it the wrong way. What they do is they concentrate on the actions. So they try and stop doing something. They try and change the actions. And that can be quite effective if you have ironclad willpower and you are very, very strong and all of that. But most people aren't. So it tends to fail. What I do with people is we work at it kind of the other way around. We start with your beliefs. So you don't change your behavior, you change your beliefs. And most people have got beliefs around smoking, drinking, junk food. Some of the ones that I come across all the time around alcohol is that it helps you to socialize, it reduces your stress, it helps you to celebrate things, it helps you to make friends, all of these kind of things. And if you get to grips with those and you ask yourself a few questions, does drinking alcohol make me look like more of a man? Is that actually true? Or is that just something I believe because I've watched James Bond a bit too much? If we actually start to get to grips with these beliefs, ask whether they're true, ask whether they're serving us, whether they're helping us to become the kind of people that we want to become, then, that actually really reduces your desire to drink. Because if you don't believe that it's helping you, if you don't believe it's providing you with any benefits, then of course you don't want to do it. And that makes not doing it an awful lot easier. I mean, there's also a little bit about managing the thought process. So some people would call them cravings, but I don't think that's a particularly helpful word. They are simply thoughts. So what we do is we work on a little thought management process so that when you have the thoughts about drinking, instead of going, oh, I can't drink and getting a bit miserable, we teach you to think something different, interrupt the pattern, change the thought process and find the other way out, find yourself a way out of it. So once you've dealt with the beliefs and the thoughts, then the actions flow naturally. The actions then come easily. As I say, most people start with the actions. They hope the beliefs and the thoughts catch up. Sometimes they do, but generally they don't, which is why we always start the other way around. Beliefs, thoughts, actions, success.
Beliefs, thought, actions, and success. I got that. That's a great job you're doing. You're getting to the root. Getting to the root. I love that. Okay, so to bring this to an end, Duncan, what would you like to leave the audience with, like a final thought? And to those ones who would like to reach out to you, learn more about what you do, how can that be possible?
Yeah, sure. If you want to find out a little bit more about what I do, the best way to do that is to just put getover.uk, that's getover.uk, into the internet. and that will take you to a bit of my website, and there you can pick up a gift from me, which is a copy of my first book, Get Overindulgence, which is really just my kind of journey. It's a story, it's fairly light-hearted, it's kind of funny, it's also pretty short. So your listeners can grab for free a PDF or a Kindle version of that. And if they can stand to listen to me for 3 hours and 45 minutes, they can also download the audio. And funnily enough, you know, the real message of that book is what I'd love everybody to know. The thing that well, not just know, you know, I want everybody to feel it, to really have it tattooed across their heart. And it is simply this: it is the idea that you are enough. You don't need alcohol, you don't need cigarettes, you don't need junk food, you don't need social media, you don't need Netflix, you don't need any of that, because you have everything inside you that you need to lead a beautiful, meaningful, purposeful, fruitful, enjoyable life, because, my friend, you are enough.
That's a powerful message. That's a powerful one. I love that. So that's gonna be the end of the show, man. Thank you for coming and thank you for, blessing us with this amazing insight. It means a whole lot, man. Thank you.
Well, no, it's my pleasure, man. And you keep doing it. You keep helping the people too. So thank you.